Good morning. Good morning. We invite you to join us as we get our service started this morning. Invite you to stand if you are able and join us in singing Gratitude Before Me.
I gotta be able to dance.
Yes.
Gratitude before me,
Gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful.
Good morning. What a lovely way to start our services together this morning. My name is Beth Bond. I am a member here at Unity of Garden Park, and it is once again my deep pleasure to welcome each and every one of you to our services today, whether you're here with us in the sanctuary or whether you're joining us on Facebook Live. We acknowledge that you've made the choice and that you've put forth the effort to be here in community with us today, and we are grateful. Unity honors all paths to God, and we want you to know that wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. And in preparation for our opening prayer, I invite you to go to that place of prayer that is your own. There is no right or wrong way to pray. It is your way. And please join me now. We thank you, O God, for this beautiful day. We thank you for this beautiful community. We thank you for the love that is here for each other and the love that is here to be spread among the people and out into our community as a whole. We bless this service and our time together today, and know that we will move on into our week with blessings and a message and a joyful heart. Thank you, O God. Amen. Along the lines of prayer, we have an affirmation that we say together. An affirmation affirming that which we know to be true. It's on your screens, and I invite you to join me now. Unity of Garden Park is a radiating center of divine love and light, mighty to attract our good and to radiate good to others. There is only one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life, God the good omnipotence. Thank you. Before I release the youth today, we wanted to take just a moment and let you know that our beloved Bob Vogus made his transition this week. Bob and his wife, Linda, have been a long-standing cornerstone of this community. Bob has been a part of the grounds, the buildings, the maintenance, and most of all, he's been an integral part of the healing community. In instruction and as a practitioner. He lived as he believed. And we all have been blessed. As you can see, we do have the details of his service, and we look forward to being able to celebrate his life with his family. Continued prayers for Linda and all of Bob's family moving forward. Thank you. And now, I invite the youth to stand today to head on out with Miss Sandy, Mr. Brian, and then we look forward to talking with you later. Ushers? We always like to take a moment and just see if there is anyone that's here and visiting with us for the first time and invite them to raise their hand. We have a packet of information, great, and a coupon to the bookstore, and activities and things that are happening here in our community. We're very happy you're here with us today. We'll start out our thank you. I know you got my back. I know. Thank you. Let's go ahead and move into our sacred portion of services today, and we'll start with the reading of the Daily Word by Bob Huth.
Good morning to you here, and good morning to all of you out there in Facebook land. Today, Sunday, November 23rd, the daily word is protected. I rest securely knowing I am divinely protected. And this protection is more than physical safety. It is the deep assurance that no harm can befall me at the level of spirit. I am guided and sustained by the infinite intelligence and by the love of Spirit. This protection is not fear-based. It is faith-based. It is a deep understanding that no matter what appears in the outer world, the Christ presence within me is my enduring spiritual protection. This awareness helps me put the news of the world in proper perspective. As I align my thoughts and my feelings with this spiritual truth, I feel safe. Affirming divine protection allows me to live boldly, knowing that I am not alone. I believe in the prayer for protection, which assures me I am surrounded, I am enfolded, and I am protected by the presence and power of God. From the book of Psalms, chapter 91, verse 11, we hear, "For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways."
Thank you, Bob. So when I checked my platform schedule earlier in the month, I was both excited and honored to be the one who was scheduled to share the platform with our guest speaker today, Chelley Seibert. Yeah. So I guess I don't need to say anything more. You already know her. For those of you who don't, let me just tell you, she is a musician, she is a public speaker, and she is also a healer in her own law enforcement community. And as I hear it, she has a confession for us today. Miss Chelley Seibert.
I had it off. You were thinking something happened back there, but it's me, because it's not a show until I mess up the sound. Yeah, that's... Shelley's in the house. Things are going to fall apart. It's all good. Let me see here. Okay. Put this contraption on, because we need to do a song, I think, to start things off. I love that daily word, protected. Oh my gosh. And you know, and one of the things, just in hearing it this time, because I read it like 5 times this week, but there's a line in there, I don't know if you caught it, about how the protection is not fear-based, it's faith-based. And I have been told years ago, I don't know where I picked this up, I think it was a magazine article in Vogue or something, but the phrase was, you cannot have faith and fear at the same time. You have to pick one. That choice is up to you. Which are you going to follow? And you know what? I kind of like the faith thing. Not to go on a journey off my soapbox here. We'll get to a song in a minute, I promise, but my thought is going here. It's what are we choosing to focus on? And my initial thought, my primitive brain, my juvenile 5-year-old brain might immediately go to fear, because that's kind of a survival instinct, to stay away from scary things, right? That's what we do. But as we grow and as we get older, we start to learn to discern thought. And if we initially go to fear, but then if we stop ourselves and do just a couple of deep breaths, we can get from emotional brain to logic brain and realize that faith is also possible, and to make that decision. So again, that's something that we need to practice, which kind of leads me into this particular song. Beth and I were just talking a bit ago about how much I love coming here, because you guys have been the guinea pigs for a lot of stuff that I have made up. And you still have me come back, which I don't get. But I want to say, years ago, I wrote this particular song for this congregation. I can't even remember who the speaker was, but they had a topic about having to overcome your fears to do stuff, which is kind of a common theme that we do here in Unity, right? And so I wrote this particular song. It's evolved a little bit since I first performed it, but I thought, how perfect to share it with you again today. And I'm going to trip myself. Okay, there we go. See if you recognize it or even remember it. Roller coasters can make us queasy. I'm going to put my glasses on real quick. Big adventures, well, they don't come easy. You gotta feel the fear and do it anyway. Courage takes a little training. Don't take too much explaining. Do one thing that scares you every day. I'm gonna board a plane and skydive, then kiss the ground, glad to be alive. Sing karaoke of my favorite tune. Feelings, nothing more than feelings. Put my ego to the test. Post a selfie that's not my best. Do one thing that scares me every day. Roller coasters can make us queasy. Big adventures don't come easy. Feel the fear, do it anyway. Courage takes a little training. Don't take much explaining. Do one thing that scares you every day. Take a walk on the wild side. Pour Tabasco on my fries. Sing karaoke of another favorite tune. Start spreading the news. See a movie on my own. Learn how to really use my phone. Do one thing that scares me every day. Roller coasters can make us queasy. Big adventures don't come easy. Feel the fear, do it anyway. Courage takes a little training. Don't take much explaining. Do one thing that scares you every day. I know this seems like just a silly song, but when I do these things, I wonder, why'd I wait so long? I'm gonna give pickleball a try. Pull the plug and go offline. Sing karaoke of another favorite tune. Think of your fellow man, lend him a helping hand. Send the food back when it's too cold. Play my hand instead of fold. Do one thing that scares me every day. Roller coasters can make us queasy. Big adventures don't come easy. Feel the fear, do it anyway. Courage takes a little training. Don't take much explaining. Do one thing that scares you. One thing that scares you. One thing that scares you every day. Thank you. Oh, gosh. I have to admit, actually, that wasn't an original thought. That whole theme for that song actually came from my mother's refrigerator. True story. She always had refrigerator magnets and things, and in fact, one of my favorite ones, I think, was put up in the 70s and was still there until like 2000 when she 2010, maybe when we moved here. It was a little cutout of a Ziggy cartoon. Remember Ziggy? I don't think Ziggy even is out there anymore. I'm not sure. But there was one that said, "A hug a day keeps the psychiatrist away." Right? We need human connection. So that one has always been like the top of my list. But another one was a refrigerator magnet, and it was a quote by Eleanor Roosevelt. And she's the one that said, "Do one thing every day that scares you." And I got to thinking, you know, I'm a gym teacher for the police department, and I train them to run. And I realized that if you want to get better at something, you have to do it. And then your body kind of gets accustomed to it. And you can run longer miles and run a marathon if you want to. But it's all this incremental stuff of getting better. What if we faced our fears the same way, that we practice doing something a little bit scary, kind of like exposure therapy, but that it's less scary each time you do it. We can train our bodies to not be so scared. So that's where that whole song came from. So thank you for letting me try it out on you about 3 years ago, and it's still out there these days. So there you go. So, all right, Beth told you that I have a confession, and it's true. I don't share this with too many people. You already know where this is going. I'm hearing the laughter already. So all of my life, starting about probably the age of 3, I have been frightened by a monster that can ambush you at any time. You don't see it coming, and it can devour you when it catches you. I am afraid of butterflies. Anybody else out there? Anyone? Okay. It's a thing. It's a thing. So, okay, to be fair, it's probably moths that I'm actually frightened of, but I was 3. You know, it's hard to tell the difference between the two, right? So what happened was this. We lived in a neighborhood down in Miamisburg, Ohio. It's a suburb of Dayton. And my mother and my sister and I, a lot of times ago, would cross the street to the Allens' house, right? Because, first of all, they had color TV. And especially during like the Wizard of Oz, if you don't have a color TV, you kind of miss the point, you know, how it goes into like Technicolor, and then you see the big green face of the witch. It's not nearly as scary on a black and white TV. So we would go across the street to the Allens' house. Now, Mrs. Allen liked to put mothballs inside her vacuum cleaner. I don't know why. I think it was an air freshener kind of a thing that so anytime she vacuumed the house, it would have this aroma of mothballs. Well, as a 3-year-old, of course, I'm going to ask my mom, why does their house smell like that? You know, it was not a judgmental thing. It's just like their house smells different than our house, and I don't know why. Is she always cooking the same meal and it just happens to have that aroma? What is that? So my mother then, of course, had to explain, well, those are mothballs, which, you know, as a 3-year-old, that sounds like a toy. Okay, how do you play mothball? That sounds great. Well, then she had to explain, well, no, you see, moths have a tendency to, you know, like eat your sweaters and your clothing and that kind of thing. And so you have these mothballs that keeps them away to protect your stuff. Now, hindsight, I'm looking back, realizing my mother is referring to clothing that's stored in an attic off-season. My 3-year-old self heard, the moth will see your clothing and start eating whatever, and how does it know to stop when it finishes your sweater? You know, what if it's still hungry? You know, will it just kill? Has anyone lost a limb from a moth? And of course, when I don't know what moths are, my mother is using, well, you know, they're like butterflies. I'm not going to know. So those things that are out there flying in the yard want to eat me. That was pretty much what I took away from that conversation, right? So, and I mean, this was traumatic. I think I talked about EMDR the last time I was here. I'm realizing I might need a little EMDR for this. But I can remember looking out the screen door to see if there were any butterflies flying around. And if there were, I wouldn't go outside. And I mean, my sister would be out there on the swing set with the kids from the neighbors, all having a great time. And I would so want to be there. But then one of those, we'd always have either the white ones or the yellow ones. That's all we ever had in Miamisburg. Nothing fancy. But there'd be one flying out there. And I knew that no one could protect me from those butterflies because they can come from wherever. So even if my sister was there, what was she going to do? Probably say, yeah, get her sweater. It's better than mine. I couldn't go, and so I literally paralyzed myself by not going outside and playing. I know you don't. I eventually made it out there. I think the butterflies finally left, and I was able to swing for a little bit. But this was a real fear. So I do want to say that I've gotten better. It's taken 60 years. But what's happened is my partner, Teresa, which some of you know, loves winged creatures. Birds, butterflies, anything. Fairies, she even owns wings that she'll dress up as a fairy and do her thing with kids. And so everywhere we live, and we move quite a bit, she loves gardening. And get this, she will purposely plant butterfly bushes in the yard to attract butterflies to our yard. And it's exposure therapy for me, because it's like, oh, we're gonna go for 2 this year, are we? Okay, can we? Okay, it's really nice, it's pretty. I'll be over here. Now, we actually get monarchs, so, we're getting like the monarch butterflies. So I'm learning about butterflies, because what has happened is not only am I realizing, I know they're not going to eat me, but there's still something that, when I see one fly by, my first instinct is, So notice what my brain did. I went to 3-year-old self, fear, oh, wait, take a breath. Nothing to be afraid of. This is fine. It's beautiful. Enjoy the beauty of the butterfly. But, sometimes I will say they've landed on me. Oh, still can't quite handle that yet, right? Well, this summer, we went a step further. And our yard is now a monarch way station. We have a sign, official way station. Now, I don't know if butterflies can read. I don't know if there's like an app that they know where the way stations are. But basically, to qualify as a way station, you have to have like so many milkweed plants and butterfly bushes and flowers for them. And then what you do is you protect them. And so we have milkweed plants in pots. And then when an egg appears on one, we'll take that pot, and then we have this like netted cage kind of a thing that you put the plant in there so birds can't get to it, because now these are our responsibility, because we are a way station. And so they do their thing. They turn into the caterpillar, they do the chrysalis, they do the butterfly thing, and then before you let them go, we have these little teeny tiny stickers with numbers on them, because they're actually, they're registered online. So before you let them go, you actually affix a teeny tiny sticker underneath the wing, and then let them go. And then you enter it into this database, and then wherever they go, if other people see them, then you can track where your butterflies have gone. Isn't that the most incredible thing? I thought she was making it up when she told me about it. Oh no, we're gonna have this thing. I'm like, yeah, you just want more milkweed and butterfly bushes. I get it, it's fine. But yeah, so where was I going on this? I think I actually have, the way station, the tag, the release, the good. So I actually have some slides to show you what I've learned. So this is this amazing transformation that butterflies make. So this is the teeny tiny egg on a milkweed leaf. I think that's milkweed. I don't know my leaves. It's on a leaf. It's green. I don't know. Starts out like that, and then it'll hatch, and we'll see the next slide there, and it's this teeny tiny little caterpillar, right? And so this thing's going to start to eat. I don't know if you've ever watched these caterpillars eat. Now that we're farmers, I'm able to actually see them in their habitat. Have you ever watched like a kid eat corn on the cob? You're like, that's exactly how these guys eat milkweed. You can watch it. It's like a typewriter. It's amazing. And so they eat. Anyone, I think there's a children's book called The Hungry Caterpillar. Okay. It's clearly about this particular kind of caterpillar because it continues to grow. And then you'll see on the next slide, back one. There we go. This is what it actually turns into, is this, black and yellow and white caterpillar. And once it gets to a certain thickness and length, it actually goes into this J formation that you can see there. And then it starts to spin a chrysalis around it, and then we'll go ahead and show you that one. And the chrysalis, even though it's green, it also has some gold balls on it, which is really, really pretty. And it's going to hang out, and actually it will climb. We were trying to see if we could change their behavior, but this is their thing. They eat the leaves until most of the milkweed leaves are gone, and then they climb to the top of the net cage, spin this chrysalis, and then they hang there for about 10 days. And then what happens is that green starts to darken in color, and it turns almost like a black. And you're thinking, oh no, it died. What's really happening is the chrysalis is actually getting see-through. And you are seeing the black of the wings showing through the chrysalis, which is interesting. So then when it comes out, our next one then, is we have this butterfly. And what I've learned, in fact, that is a male butterfly. And the reason that I know that is it has 2 dots along the body there, just out a little bit. You see 2 black spots. The males will have those black dots. If you don't see the black dots, it's a female. See? We've all learned something about butterflies. These are fascinating creatures. So again, that's the life cycle of the monarch. And so I learned that, and then I also learned that these creatures fly to Mexico. Yeah. 3,000 miles, I think someone said. Yeah. So even though they've done this journey from egg to teeny tiny caterpillar to larger caterpillar to then I'm going to do the chrysalis and then I'm going to do, now their work begins. And so now they're going to go all the way to Mexico. This side of the country, they go to Mexico. I think the west side, they actually go to Southern California. But they know exactly where to go, and then they'll come back. And an incredible, incredible life. In fact, I was just reading because I thought, how long do these guys live exactly? Well, it depends on when they're born. Turns out that those that are born early spring have a different life plan for them. Their main concern is to repopulate. So the early spring ones are going to plant or develop probably 400 to 500 of the little pods, but then they die before that journey is made. The ones that are born later in the summer actually are not so much interested in mating. They are feeding their bellies and getting strength, and they're the ones that make the trip, and they actually live about 8 or 9 months that make the trip there and back, and then start the cycle again. So again, scary creatures, yes, but also fascinating. Knowledge is power. I just want to say, the more you know about these things, the better you feel. How many of you have heard about the butterfly effect? I think there's a book, isn't there? Yeah. And if I'm understanding it correctly, it's talking about the impact of something teeny, teeny, tiny that you don't realize that when magnified and rippling out into the world can cause enormous change. So the flapping of a butterfly wing in Brazil, if you take that energy and it expands and grows and grows and grows and can actually turn into a tornado in Texas. So even the smallest of creatures have huge impacts on what they can do in the world, which I think is amazing. And as much as I appreciate what all the butterfly can do, I think what we gravitate towards is that whole metamorphosis piece that butterflies do. right? We see them as one thing, and then they turn into something else, and we're thinking, wow. What was Spirit thinking when they created this particular thing? Do you think that the butterfly is a one-off? That it's the only thing that can have that magnificent of a transformation? Because when you think about it, the caterpillar, and other fun facts that I'll share with you. Did you know that they have 16 legs? Only 6 of them are real. I don't know, the other 10 are like curb feelers or something. I don't know what those are for, but that's what they have. They have 12 eyes, but they can only see shadows, light and dark. They can't see color. And they have very strong jaws because they do that. That's the caterpillar. But when they come out of this cocoon, of this chrysalis, all of a sudden, they are airborne, for one. Totally different. They're no longer bound to the earth. They can go wherever they want. They can fly between 80 and 100 miles a day. And their vision, they can see more colors than we can. In a lot of ways, they're advanced from us. Of course, they can fly. That's a given. We can't do that. But they can see more than we can see. So amazing things. But the thing is, the caterpillar has a DNA inside it that the wings that haven't even appeared yet are already inside the caterpillar. They've already discovered that's there, which tells us that everything we need is within us, right? It's there. Are we tapping into it is the thing. So is it the only creature that can do this? And I would say it would be so nice if I could go to bed at night and be earthbound, and then I wake up the next morning and ta-da, I can fly. That's not necessarily going to happen, but does that mean that I haven't gone through any kind of transition or metamorphosis? See, I think I can, and I think we all have. I would say that even though butterflies scare, 3-year-olds, they're pretty spectacular. And I realized that the DNA that a butterfly and caterpillar has, we also have. It's also within us. Now, I realize that in my DNA, I haven't changed much. I was born with 2 legs and 2 arms, and lo and behold, I still have that. I'm a little taller. I'm a little wider than I used to be. I will say my vision and my hearing is, diminished from what I used to be, which probably isn't a good thing, but does my DNA still allow me to change? I think it does. I think it does. In fact, when I think about DNA, what does that stand for? For me, I think it stands for our divine natural abilities. Wait a minute, now we're talking here. There's something within us that we were born with that we can become, and it's been with us since birth. There is a plan for each of us. We might not even know about it yet. Here we are, Dorothy with our ruby red slippers. Didn't know we had the power all along to go home. Here it is. It keeps repeating itself. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Do we all have this? And I am going to say, yes, we do. And I want to say, again, this is all Shelleyism. I'm not pulling this out of a book. So you could say, Chelley, you're full of crap. Okay, that's fine. But this is how I'm traveling in the world here. I am seeing a pattern of cycles. Anytime Spirit creates something, there's always a pattern, right? So like we're getting ready for winter. So we know that the trees are going to be bare, and they're going to be the skeletal selves that are going to be standing there. And then we know that spring is going to come, and we're going to get those blossoms, and we're going to see the color, and it's going to happen. And my allergies are going to go off the chart because that's what happens in the spring. And then it's going to be summer, and the leaves are going to come out, and they're going to be green, and it's going to be gorgeous. And then things are going to start to dry up in August, and then ragweed will start, and I'll have allergies again. And then we'll go into the fall. fall, and then we're going to have all of those bright colors that we're still just seeing the last remnants of right now. It's a cycle. It happens. The dandelion comes up as a green plant, and then it turns into a yellow flower, and then it turns into a puffball of seed, and then it goes off and it repopulates. And then it happens again, and it happens again, and it happens again, and it's a cycle. So everything has a cycle and a pattern. Why would butterflies be any different than the rest of us? You know what I think happened? I think that Spirit put butterflies on this earth as an educational tool. It's as if Spirit said, listen, I know you hate to read, so we're going to try something else here. I am going to create cartoon character-ish things, three-dimensional picture book, if you will, to prove to you what you can do. So let's see, I've got leaves, we've already picked green. I'm gonna make a caterpillar that'll be yellow and black and white, and it's gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger until the leaves are gone and it's just a caterpillar. You've got to notice that, right? And then it's gonna disappear for about 10 days, but then it's gonna come back as this bright orange and black winged creature that's going to fly in your face, and it's saying, look at me. You can do this too. I'm showing you how it's done. The DNA is inside every single one of you. Tap into it. Believe in who you are. I can't think of another way that God could have made it any more plain. You know, I'm a Pittsburgh Steeler, and then I turn into a Bengal. I mean, I'm kind of thinking of the color scheme here, looking at your jersey. But bright colors, right? Let's get your attention to show you that you've got this. So the question is, if we have this within us, why don't we do it? What's holding us back? What's that? Fear. Oh my gosh, and weren't we just talking about fear versus faith? I love it when it comes together. Yes, you want to come up? No. It's our fear. And more specifically, I would say it's fear of unknown. If I were to say half of a quote, let's see if you can figure out the rest of it. If I were to say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. All right. The devil you know beats the devil you don't. Notice those cliches that we kind of carry with us, like, oh, keep with the steady, keep with what you know, don't go over there, it could be something scary, don't take the risk. And how often are we shutting ourselves down and not living our authentic selves? Can you think of a time where maybe you were facing a challenge and you didn't step through that door? Or can you think of a time that you took a risk and it actually turned out better than you thought it would? When you weigh those two experiences, which sits better with you? When I think about my regrets, it's always the things that I never tried. But every time that I've tried something, even if it didn't turn out the way that I wanted it to, something good came from it. There was a life lesson that I picked up. I think Karen Drucker has a song about this or something better for us to pray for, because we don't really know what it is that we need, but if you could at least give me this or maybe whatever you see is better, but take that risk. Jana Stanfield once gave me a quote. It said, God cannot steer a parked car. Right? I'm going to stay on my analysis paralysis and not go anywhere because I know I'm safe here and I'll never check what's down the road. What if you just start to move? That's when things happen. But you got to be willing to have faith to take that step. You know, when I was 6, I loved kindergarten and I didn't want it to end. Could you imagine if I'd gotten my wish? First of all, they need bigger chairs, right? But the friends that I never would have met, the knowledge that I never would have gained, the experience that never would have happened, I would not be who I am today unless I went on to first grade. and to second, and to third, and to continue on with life and do those life experiences. It can't happen unless you take those steps. And is it uncomfortable? Heck yes, because it's unknown until it's not. How often have we done that? It's like, man, I don't want to go there. Then you get there. I am so glad I came. How would you know it was going to be great unless you went through it? Practice that muscle, right? Fear takes a little bit of training. Do one thing every day that scares you. This works. This works. So, where did I leave off? Let's see. I think I have a quote up there. Okay, yeah, there it is. F. Scott Fitzgerald. For what it's worth, it's never too late to be who you want to be. I hope you live a life you're proud of. And if you find you're not, I hope you have the strength to start over again. Such empowering words. And I really want to focus on that power that we have to change. And you know, we're getting to that time of year where the days are getting shorter, it's getting colder, and I love daylight. I think I'm part plant. I need to photosynthesize. That's just me. But I also appreciate when we get to the shorter days and that we have to go within. So this is a perfect time to start to do that, to go into our cocoon, where we change and do that transformation. You know what actually happens in the cocoon or the chrysalis for the butterfly? The entire creature, the caterpillar, actually turns to mush and then reforms within this chrysalis. It involves letting go of what you knew and picking up the unknown, trusting and having faith in order to become what you are to become. So we really have to release before we can receive. And that's been shown to us over and over and over again through every butterfly that you see flying by. So, avoiding distractions, what would you want to release, and what would be the hidden characteristics and traits and talents that you have within you that you want to bring out? If our DNA is our divine natural abilities that are within us, what is stopping you from tapping into your greatness and your authentic self? Though every once in a while I teach a workshop for young entrepreneurs, and we do this exercise because I want to talk about the importance of your authentic self. Putting your whole self in, right? My theory is that this earth does not work unless we are all 100% present. Now, I'm not going to make you do this exercise, but I want to explain it to you so you can feel it intuitively what I'm going to describe. I will have all of these, they're like 20-somethings, right? They're getting out of college, trying to figure what they want to be. I will have them stand in a circle around the outside of the room and hold hands, right? So we've got a nice big circle. Then they're going to drop hands, and they're going to turn around and face outward on the circle and grab hands again. So now they're facing away from the circle, holding hands, and then I will tell them, take a half step forward. What happens? We are wholehearted, open-hearted, extremely vulnerable, right? But we are putting our whole selves in. Now, what then I explain to them in this moment is to say, what you are creating right now is a perfect circle. If just one of you does this, it's not perfect anymore. If I shield myself, if I hold something back, if I protect, we have a dent. Everybody must be their authentic selves. That's what makes it perfect. That's why this planet struggles. Because there are too many voices that are silenced. Too many people that are too intimidated to speak up, to be who they're supposed to be. And until we can make it an open, welcoming community for everyone to be authentic, we will always struggle. Yeah. So, you could kind of picture what that felt like. Could you almost feel your heart space open up? And yes, it is vulnerable, but you know what? You're the most alive. You're the most genuine self. And that's who we need to be in this earth. Make sure I'm catching myself up here. All right. At this time, and Yvette, I'll have you come up here, I want to take this idea of evolving into our authentic selves and take this into meditation. I love doing meditation after message because it gives us something to ponder and something to work on, right? So, in fact, I guess we should probably sing Surely the Presence because that's usually what comes here. So why don't we do that together? Let's sing Surely the Presence. This time, I would like for you, and Yvette, if you could go ahead and play a little bit for me there, that'd be great. I want you to sit back and get comfortable. And empty your hands. If you happen to be holding anything, just set it aside. I promise it will still be there when we're done. If it feels right to you, I want you to go ahead and close your eyes and turn your energy inward. And imagine yourself in your own cocoon, your own chrysalis. You know, we can tell when it's time to slow down and to simplify. There's times in our lives when we have to drop some of the doing, the scrolling, the shopping, the running around. There's times when our energy calls us inward, when we have to simply go into the dark and sit with ourselves. There are times when transformation is calling us, and the only way out is to simply surrender to it, to turn towards its inner world, to be truthful. And as you listen, I want you to soften your shoulders, soften your hands, soften your legs, your thighs, your hips. All of you that has been walking through this world, let yourself come into a few moments of cocoon time. Let the doing drop away. There are times in our lives when our psyches will say to us that in order to grow into all that you can be, you have to drop what you've been doing and come in close to yourself. So slow your breath, still your body, and soften. Give yourself permission to turn your energy inward. Turn your focus away from the world. Let your eyelids drop. Your thoughts settle. Rest. Receive. And simply sit here in your cocoon in the silence. And as you sit in this darkness, in this cocoon, know that transformation is happening to you already. You have good guidance within you. Something happens in the dark. By letting go and simply staying with what is, transformation happens within us. Lo and behold, there's a butterfly here with wings of wonder. It can do so many things that the caterpillar couldn't. It can fly higher, see a wider perspective. And this happens when we stop doing and open up to receive what is good, what is wondrous. Life reaches in and helps us out. Let it all go sometimes in order to move forward towards what we're meant to be. Sometimes you have to surrender in order to find our fabulous new form. And when we do that, such wonderful things happen. When we don't seek to control our own transformation, we end up in places that are literally beyond our wildest dreams, beyond anything we ever could have imagined. Life takes care of us. And as you continue to breathe, slowly wiggle your fingers and toes. Rotate your wrists, your ankles. Bring yourself back into this place and time. Take a deep breath in and let it out. And when you're ready, open your eyes. And welcome back. And just a reminder that you can repeat that journey anytime you need to. And I want to just state one more time our affirmation. I recognize and celebrate your DNA, your divine natural abilities, because they are with you at all times. Thank you for taking that journey with me, and now the light and goodness that is inside of me sees and recognizes the light and goodness and fabulousness in each and every one of you. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chelley. I love that we had the reminder that autumn and winter time is that time of chrysalis, that time of more dark and going within. Thank you. So it's time for us to prepare for our love offerings and prayer requests. If you have your love offering, please take that in hand. If you do give of your offering electronically, you'll see that we have electronic or strips for your e-giving. We invite you to hold that in your hand as well. Gigi Boone is our chaplain, our prayer chaplain today. If you have a prayer request, we have papers in the back of the pew in front of you, and invite you to fill those out and pass those to the center, and Gigi will be collecting those behind the offerings, and Gigi will also be in the prayer room for private prayer, should you choose. Why don't we do a quick prayer together? You can go ahead and stand. Let's do a quick prayer, just blessing the offerings as they're given today. We thank you for the abundance, for the prosperity, for the energy ever and always flowing through us, O God, and we bless these offerings in this way. We also bless the prayer requests and know that they are received in perfect healing. Thank you. Before we do our offering, I invite you also to join me. Sorry, folks. We'll do a quick affirmation together. This is our offering affirmation, and I invite you to say that with me now. I am a joyful giver, and the universe lovingly sustains me. Therefore, divine love expressed through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I have faith in God as my instant, constant, and abundant supply. Thank you, God. One more song from Chelley.
This is a tune by Bob Seibert, which I thought would fit perfectly with our message today. It's called No Mud, No Lotus. You gotta go through the poo to get the good stuff, is basically what he's saying. No mud, no lotus. Haven't you noticed the patterns of the pain in your past? The things that broke you, they also awoke you to the questions you needed to ask. Sleepless nights and those dizzying heights, and the dreams, some of which came true. Tough breaks, heartaches, perfect mistakes created this version of you. And everything you go through grows you, and everything you go through grows you, exposes who you are. If it hurt, it made you softer. If it was hard, it fueled the hunger. If it touched you, your heart took hold. If it was simple, it made you wise. If it was sweet, it made you smile. Weaved an indelible impression on your soul. Your feet they walked, and your lips they talked, and your hands dug around for the proof. Every look, every book, picture in your mind that you took created this version of you. And everything you go through grows you, and everything you go through grows you, exposes the roots of an endless summer, part-time temporary lovers, and the swoon of a deep blue sky. And as the time flew, you planted and gathered your truth as it passed before your eyes. And the wound is where the light gets in, revealing the masterpiece just beneath the skin. In the glow of your own light, Your petals open wide, and you bloom right where you are. And everything you go through grows you, and everything you go through grows you, exposes who you are. No mud, no lotus. Haven't you noticed the patterns of the pain in your past? The things that broke you, they also awoke you to the questions you needed to ask. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll stand for the final prayer on the offerings. Yeah. We're going to do it again. Thank you. Thank you. We'll just do what we're going to do. We'll just bless these one more time. Most loving God, we know that all love offerings have been received and will be released to their divine right purpose. And in that way, we also know these prayer requests have also been received and will be released to their perfect healing. All this is true, and we say thank you, and so it is. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Did you write that song?
No. I wish.
So we have just a few minutes before the children arrive, and we have lots of announcements. So I am just going to point you to your bulletin and ask that you spend a few extra minutes on the announcements that are in your bulletin, and you'll find a lot of details there in regards to Reverend Kathy and her lunch and Course in Miracles and things like that. I am going to spend a few extra minutes to talk about this coming Tuesday is our gratitude service here. Reverend Kathy Malloy will be, oh my goodness, that's just a mixing of the minds, isn't it? Oh my goodness, sorry folks. Yeah, Sandy, I'm Sandy Catherine maybe? I don't know. Yeah, all right, I'm sorry. Reverend Sandy will be doing our service, and the gratitude service again is Tuesday, the 25th, here in the sanctuary. Unity Singers, it's that time again. Next performance is scheduled for Sunday, December the 21st, and first rehearsal will be next Sunday, the 30th, and that will be shortly after service at 12:30 here in the sanctuary. Fun bingo scheduled for Sunday, December the 14th, and we'll look forward to seeing you all there. And finally, want to spend a few minutes talking about Love Blooms. This is a magnificent fundraiser, and it also is a wonderful way for you to donate to Poinsettia, and you can donate in memory of someone who has made their transition, or you can also donate in honor of someone who's had a special place in your life. So we are in the midst of that fundraiser now. You can either do that online, or today, Tony Vodnik will be out here at the table in the foyer, and she will help you walk through that process and get you going as well. So let's see, want to talk about that. The 15th, December the 15th, is the deadline for all submissions. So thank you for that as well. Oh, and we're also looking for volunteers who could be available to come into the sanctuary on Mondays and Wednesdays to water the poinsettias as we go through the month of December. If you are interested, please see Kim Lee, or you can call the office. And with that, I believe that we have children. That's all right, we'll get you. We'll get you. We'll get you.
Hi, everybody. Today, we read a book called Beauty and the Beaks. It was about a turkey named Lance who thought he was hot stuff. But the only hot stuff he was to be Thanksgiving dinner on the table. So Beauty runs a beauty shop, and she decided, we'll give him a makeover. She made him put on a skirt, cut his hair. He still said, I don't like this, but if it keeps me from the dinner table, I'm okay. So we all made little stuffed turkeys out of M&Ms, and it says, eat more beef. And the other children, a lot of them did eggs, and they have eyes on them, so they're watching their daddy turkey. So that's what we did today, and this one's for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Why don't we, let's see, what do we do next? It seems like we do the prayer for protection. Yeah, you wanna help me say the prayer for protection today? We'll stand up. We can join hands and elbows. You want to hold my elbow? All right, let's do that. All right, and let's all join together, and we'll say the prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Thank you. Yes, you're about ready. Okay, sing. Let there be peace on
With me, let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as our Father, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be our joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Everybody, I just wanted to say a big thank you to Mr. Dean, who helped for the first time, and I don't think we scared him off yet. So thank you very much.